What's going on with officers in Florida?
Police body-worn camera videos, but not quite like this. What started as an arrest ended with a police sergeant putting his hands on the neck of one of his own officers. It's behavior the police chief calls disgusting.
Sunrise Police released this body camera video to 7 Investigates after a tip led us to ask about a November 19th incident. Citing an ongoing internal affairs investigation, the department turned off the sound and obscured almost all the faces, except for one, Sergeant Christopher Police.
When he went up and put his hand on her throat, what was your reaction?
I find this behavior to be disgusting. I think the video speaks for itself.
Just a minute earlier, the body cam shows a man being walked by officers to a patrol car. He was being arrested for aggravated battery after police say he hit people outside this convenience store. The man under arrest is already in handcuffs, but officers appear to be having difficulty getting him into the car. Around that time, Sergeant Police pulls up and walks up to the suspect. Sunrise Police Chief Anthony Roses says he could not tell us what the sergeant said, but says it made the situation worse.
I find it to be inappropriate and unprofessional because what he did is he escalated the situation when calm was actually required.
You see the cuffed man back away in the back seat as Sergeant Police leans into the car.
And we saw that he had pepper spray in his hand. Was he threatening to use that on the cuffed suspect?
So the pepper spray was out and aimed at the suspect.
Suddenly, an officer races towards the sergeant and pulls him by the belt with both hands away from the car. Sergeant Police, pepper spray still in one hand, grabs the officer with the other and pushes her against a patrol car.
The initial contact between the sergeant and the officer was his hand against her throat.
Watch again from both camera angles. It's quick, but the sergeant's hand is at her neck before moving to her shoulder. Seconds later, he walks back to the car with the cuffed suspect, opens the door and closes it before pointing at the officer and saying something. Chief Roses says the young officer did the right thing.
So I'm very proud of this police officer. She took some definitive action. I can only imagine what she must be feeling. She's a newer officer and he's a very senior sergeant.
Just how new? The 28-year-old officer, who we are not naming, has been with Sunrise Police for just over 2.5 years. Compare that to 46-year-old Sergeant Christopher Police, a 21-year-plus veteran.